Hi folks, and welcome to today's video, the hidden gem of herniated disc recovery. Now, before we get into today's video, if you're out there suffering with low back pain problems such as herniated discs, bulging discs, lumbar stenosis, lumbar arthritis, sciatica, then hit that subscribe button. You can get notified when I put some great content onto YouTube to get you back on the road to recovery. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. So folks, today I want to talk about something which I do talk about a lot. I almost nag you guys about it. It is one of the most underused, underutilized things that you can do to help improve your herniated disc recovery, your back pain, your bulging discs, yeah? What is it? Is it some secret McGill exercise, a secret McKenzie exercise? Is it some magical hang upside down like a bat exercise? No, it is journaling, okay? I have here a pain questionnaire which I give to some clients to fill out daily, and it's basically to track their pain, to track their activities, and in a form of journaling, yeah? And this video is going to be based on that. I want to talk about why it's useful, okay? I've actually prepared a document for you guys to download. It's in the description. You can download it for free, okay? Just click on it. It's a downloadable link out of my Gmail, my GDocs account. It'll come straight down. It's a 7-day, okay? 7 days for you guys to go away. It's in PDF, print it, fill it out, all right? So let's get into it. Daily journaling, pain journaling. Okay, there's a lot of researchers that actually have looked into this, okay, and why it has become productive, why it's useful. Because if you don't track your progress, right, you don't know where you're going. You don't know how well, where you've come from. You don't know where you've been. And you can be doing, like a lot of people I speak to, all this array of things without any actual, goals, without seeing if these things are working. And if you're just going round and round doing the same thing day in, day out, expecting, a different result, well, of course, we call that the definition of insanity, right? You need to be able to track your progress because you will start to see things like pain triggers, okay? You can be writing down the daily activities that you did. I'm going to go through this sheet in a second, but there may be some things which came up which you didn't, were not expecting, and that caused the pain trigger, maybe 1 or 2 days later. It's very difficult for us to remember, every day in the week what we're doing, right? But at the end of the day, if you record what you've done, how you are feeling, then you can look back on the week and say, you know what? Wednesday was a bad day. What did I do Monday? What did I do Tuesday? Oh, that's the pain trigger. Once you see that pain trigger and you know, okay, that's caused that issue, then you can start to adapt around about it, right? Perhaps you do the activity later in the day. Perhaps you get a friend to help you with this heavy activity that you were doing. But the other thing, which is really, really important is, hi guys, pardon the interruption. We'll get back to the video in just a second, but I need your help because I make a lot of content for folks out there suffering with low back pain issues. If you look at a lot of my videos, there's a lot of comments. People really appreciate the work that I'm doing, and I'm super, super happy that I'm helping these people. But you can help me more. If you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button, okay? You're gonna help the algorithm. You're gonna basically get this content out to more people. Yeah, as my content, as my channel grows, more people will get my great content. It's going to help a lot of people suffering with their low back pain issues get back on the road to recovery. It's a small ask because I do make a lot of work here. Of course, I do a lot of filming, producing, etc., editing. Okay, it's a lot of my time to make this content, and I really appreciate that you guys like it. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, and enjoy the rest of the video. During your recovery journey, there's going to be setbacks. Okay, I don't care what somebody tells you, there's always setbacks. You could sleep a strange way. You could, miss a step when you're walking, a curve or something like that, and it can set off, a burst in pain, and you regress a little bit. And it's very easy for us to get, downhearted, to think, oh, I'm never going to get rid of this. I'm going to be like this forever. I'm going to be in chronic pain. If you have something to look back on, and you can look back and see the progress that you had, where you were, you can see that you've progressed, okay? And this little blip that you have, it's just a blip. That's all it is. It is just a little blip, a little setback, a small hurdle. It set you back a couple of steps, but you're going to go forward, okay? Because you've come so far to this date, all right? So I want you guys to download this, okay? I'm going to take you through it right now. It's really, really simple to do. So I would do this at in the evening, Okay, after dinner, before you go to bed, you know, you're on the couch, whatever, and you can go over your day. All right, so obviously we've got things like the date. Okay, you put in there, morning pain, evening pain. Okay, that's useful to record because, you know, you use a scale of 1 to 10, 0 to 10, 0 being no pain, 10 being absolutely excruciating, and then you can track, you know, your pain all the way through. I actually had one client, he sort of took this and he put it into an Excel sheet, which you can do, right? And he basically had graphs and charts, and he was able to see, you know, visually, right, using the data he collected, like how his pain had, you know, intermittent, it was up and down, but it was progressively going down and down because he was charting it basically. I know that's very scientific, but it is what can be possible with this type of journaling technique. Okay, I talk about pain location, pain type. Where was the pain? Was it, you know, sciatica pain in the leg? Was it sharp stabbing? Was it dull aching? Okay, it's good to record these things. Typically with sciatica, when it first starts, it becomes quite sharp stabbing pain. It can go into numbness, and then the numbness starts to dissipate, and then you get more of the tingling feeling as the nerve is regenerating, and it can become kind of intermittent tingles, pins and needles, etc., as it's improving. So it's good to be aware of the changes in pain as they progress. Did you have a flare-up today? Okay, that's good to know. Trigger activities were something that you did and you had instant pain, you know, taking out the garbage, you know, playing with the kids, playing with the dog, you know, took the dog for a walk, whatever it could be. Sleep is super important. Okay, sleep is when you recover. That's when your body recovers, when you're lying dormant in bed. Okay, so I talk about, you know, how much sleep did you get? You know, quality, were you turning, tossing, turning? Did you wake up feeling refreshed? All these things are super important. Okay, did you wake up with pain? Yes, no. That's very important to know as well. Okay, because the days you don't wake up with pain, what happened the day before? What did you do differently? This is why it's so important to record all this information down. Sleeping position. Okay, people say, oh, I don't remember, I was sleeping. Well, what position did you go to sleep in? Were you lying on your back? What position did you wake up in, right? That's also super important, is to know what is the best position for you to be sleeping in. Physical activity done. Was it a physically active day? Were you out, you know, walking with the family? Were you driving somewhere for a long period of time to visit friends? Were you sitting a lot at home? Was it a Sunday just chilling, watching Netflix? What was the activities you did that day? Time sitting, very important. Okay, typically for most people, the longer you sit, if you've got sciatica pain, then the more pain you normally have. That's normal. Okay, time standing, right? Walking, rest breaks taken. Did you take, you know, 3-4 breaks during the day to lie down, put your legs up, take the stress off your spine? Okay, did that end up being a good day? Well, that shows you that taking breaks is good. All right, for you. How was your stress? Now, I have seen this so many times in the clients I've worked with, that if your stress levels are high, okay, you typically get an uptick in your pain. All right, there is significant correlations between how people handle stress and the physiological responses by the body. And if you are going through, or you have an injury, I've seen it many times where a person, if they've got various injuries, could be hips, knees, whatever, back, neck, etc., when they're more stressed, that the pain of that particular injury will increase. Okay, so very important to manage your stress level and to understand how your stress levels affect your issues with herniated disc, sciatica, bulginess, back pain. Okay, your mood, you know, were you feeling happy that day? Were you feeling sad that day? Were you feeling kind of ambivalent that day, right? What was your mood that day? Did something good happen at work? Did something good happen, you know, at home with the family? All these things play into like your endorphins, your feel-good hormones, and how you respond to pain. Any notable events or triggers? Like, was it some, you know, stress at work? Was there some, you know, something happened, like something happened at home that maybe potentially triggered sort of a pain response because of a stress response? Any medications taken? I know one of my clients, she will sort of record, you know, what she's taking for pain, and she's noticed, oh, I stopped taking that this week, then I stopped taking this week, then I reduced that by this much this week. That's a great sign. You're getting yourself off the painkillers because the pain is becoming less. That is progress. That's what we want to see, okay? And then I talk a little bit towards the end here about, you know, rehabilitation exercises completed, any manual therapy that you went to or used, you know, tissue release, foam rolling, etc. Other treatments, perhaps maybe you iced that day, maybe you didn't, maybe you got a TENS machine you use at home. Anything that helped that day, you know, did lying down for 20 minutes seem to help? What made it worse? As I said earlier, you know, did you take out the garbage? Did you bend over to take something at the back of the car? You know, you didn't position yourself properly. Any small wins or progress on that day that you'd noticed, right? Maybe you drove, you know, 2 hours in the car without any sciatica nerve pain, okay, which you hadn't been able to do for, you know, since the injury. And at the end, I ask people, was there anything out of the ordinary you did today? Any unusual activity? You know, perhaps you had to help somebody move, which you wouldn't normally do on a regular basis. Perhaps you had to walk an extra long, you know, way to work because there was some, you know, construction or something that happened. Any things which are basically out of the ordinary, which you may, you know, forget in weeks to come, but it may cause an uptick in pain, or it may actually cause a decrease in pain. Yeah. So, guys, download this, right? Use it, okay? Because the many people I speak to, right, who do not record their exercises, they don't record their pain levels, their sleep, you know, they're not recording, and like something similar like steps. A lot of us have step counters now on these little smartwatches. You know, I always tell people to, you know, get active, try to walk, record your steps, okay? Try to be increasing your steps, right? Because that's going to help with the blood flow and the recovery. If you don't, I mean, the classic example, right? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It's along the same lines, okay? I know this injury, like, it's a hard injury to come back from. I know, I've been there myself twice, all right? Plus numerous other injuries I've had in my life. You have to be recording down your workouts, you know, how you're feeling through that day. It's the only way for you to see progress, and it's the only way to progress. If you know where you've come from and where you want to go, okay, you can then put a plan in place to step your way to that, okay? I just had a call with a couple of guys in the last couple of days. We were kind of I was helping them reverse engineer where they want to be as far as their exercises, as far as what they want to do for jobs, for careers, how to reverse engineer it from where they are now to where they want to be, okay? And the only way you can do that is with a plan and recording down what you're doing, all right? Guys, I have harped on enough about this in different videos, all right? So I'm going to wrap it up there. If you've enjoyed this video, please, please, please subscribe, like, share the video far and wide, all right? Tell your friends and family about it, okay? Get them, if they're in pain, whatever, get them recording their pain with this daily pain journal. Download it, all right? If you get any comments, any questions, please hit me up in the comment section down below. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.